The Tyla hate train is full steam ahead after the VMA controversy with her not wanting to hold her award. The conversations have been doing the most. And when we look at this alleged hate train on Tyla, we need to talk about what is actually fueling the hate train and who is driving the train. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, y'all? After this VMA 2024 Tyla Award situation, like the girls have been like in a tizzy. Like the girls have been talking. It's been a mess. The Tyla hate train girl, she's apparently full steam ahead. The girls is hating on this South African pop artist and all the things. We got to talk about it. So recently at the VMAs, Tyla accepted her award and she walked up on the stage and she was kind of like, hey girl, this award is heavy. You know, I don't really do awards. And Halle was looking at her like, okay, what you want me to do about that? And people took this moment of like her not wanting to hold the award and passing it off to Lil Nas X that she was being uppity and entitled. And you even had this blogger by the name of Armon Wiggins, who is famous for saying stupid things and being a clear misogynist and anti-black when it comes to black female rappers or artists, period. He had a tweet that went viral calling her a uppity African, and Tyla changed her bio on Twitter to uppity entitled African. And it's just been a mess. One, Armon Wiggins is a nobody. Like, nobody is expecting Armon Wiggins to say anything to move the culture forward. Nobody's expecting Armon Wiggins to be intelligent or any type of intellectual to understand any of the things he's talking about. So I don't even know why we're taking him serious. Like, it would be like listening to Trump tell us about the COVID test, like, or the importance of getting vaccinated. Like, I placed him in a stupid box and I'm not opening it. Like, I refuse to. I don't even need to react. Like, I don't understand why we're even giving him a platform, like eating him up. He has a history of saying these things. He loves the attention of saying stupid stuff. Like, we just have to learn to ignore it. And like, yeah, the tweet was stupid. And, you know, folks were doing the most. They were platforming him by continuously talking about him. Yes, you know, call him out. But like, the only way we can truly call him out is to completely ignore him. Like, that's just what it is. Like, Armon Wiggins is known for that. And this video is not about Armon Wiggins, but I do think he is indirectly one of the ones driving the Tyla hate train, not because he doesn't like Tyla, because he likes the attention of him not liking her. He loves the attention of causing controversy like this that doesn't really move the culture or make people question anything. It's just stupid. He has a long history of transphobia, anti-blackness, like colorism, all the things. Like, he's been that for years. I don't know why people still watch him. I have no idea. But it just is what it is. So, you know, you had that going on. And when the situation happened, because I was watching it live, I even tweeted and said, oh, girl, like, Halle was not finna. Halle said, hell no, she ain't holding that award. And that was it. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be a complete 100% honest with y'all. When I watched it, I was like, oh, girl, this is yikes. Like, it just didn't give polished enough. There's a way to do that. And Tyla is just not media polished enough. She doesn't have proper media training. Like, she just doesn't. And we're going to talk about that. Like, there's a way to say, hey, y'all, this award is like, woo, can y'all, somebody, like, the way she did it could have been better. That's all I'm saying. The way she said, you know how I feel about awards? No, we don't know how you feel about awards. You are a new artist, like, that has just came out and you're doing very well, but we don't know you, sister. Like, we don't know you. I've never seen any black female artist in the US, like, after receiving an award, come out and be like this. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Like, I can, like, specifically, and I don't want to name this artist, but there's one artist, every time she wins an award, you can tell, like, she is happy. She's very talented. She's been doing her thing. And every time she gives a speech, it's very polished. It's not even polished, like, it comes from the heart. It comes from the heart. Like, you can tell that she's happy to get this attention and she is perfecting her craft. Like, she knows she's had to work for it. And each and every time, like her speeches, like, move. Like, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, come on. She eats it. There's other ones like they get these awards and they just like they really talk. But Tyla got up there like, but people who look like Tyla, they're used to being praised so much that it's hard for them to not come off certain ways. And we have to be honest about that. We gonna have a conversation about this. Like we really got to talk about it. Like it is hard for them to not, the way colorism and desire works. They're used to receiving these things. Like some of them like be like that. And we see it. Like we want to act like, you know, colorism and all these things don't apply. Like, oh, it's, you know, she's from a different country. I'm not calling her entitled, but I think that there should have been more of a polish in asking someone to hold your award. Now, this is not enough information to call her a mean girl, because people want to say, you calling her a mean girl. And the way that y'all were fully activated, like even when I tweeted about it, like I was like, you know, we've already been down this road before of defending said light-skinned, ambiguously black person from critique of being a mean girl. And how did that end up happening? 2 years ago, like Ice Spice was being called a regular degular, like she ain't no mean girl, she's cool, she's all of that. Y'all are hating. Any little critique on a light-skinned person or any of these, like it's like y'all a hater, y'all mad, and then come to find out what happened 2 years later. What ended up happening? Like we found out that, yeah, she is actually a mean girl. And that's not to say that Tyla is a mean girl. That's to say that we don't know her. We don't know Tyla. We don't know if she's a mean girl, and we don't know if she's a nice girl because we don't know her. And y'all have to check into y'all parasocial relationships with these celebrities. Y'all also have to check in with how desire lets y'all see someone as innocent. Like it, like there is so much grace that is given to like the Tylas and the Ice Spices and the such and such, like to be, you know, these things. Like it's so much grace. Like the famous video of Ice Spice being asked to rap, and they say, hey girl, rap. She would just start shaking her butt. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with shaking her butt, but Ice Spice does not have to have like actual talent because of the industry is anti-black. Like, and colorism exists. So she doesn't have to actually have talent. She can just sell desire. And that's what she's been selling. And she knows that, which is why she started putting that butt up. That's what she's selling. Like, that's exactly what she's selling. And Tyla is selling that. Like, folks were saying that she has an aesthetic. Like, the aesthetic is desire. Folks said the same thing about another artist. Oh, an artist who cannot sing, cannot dance, can't perform. Like, she's aesthetic. She's a bad girl. Like, she can't do anything like that is actually like talent, would be considered talent. But because she is desirable, she is quote unquote foreign, she's allowed and given grace to be quote unquote mediocre. You can't name two, and I ask all the time, I want you to name me a dark-skinned female pop artist or a rapper or anything who is mediocre every time they get on the stage. I want you to name one that vocals are terrible every time, have clips of them sounding a mess. You can't name them. You can't name them. It's not possible because they are not allowed. They're not given the grace. So when people ask me, how does Tyla fit into this conversation with Ice Spice? Because she benefits from colorism. She benefits from proximity to whiteness, period. Like, she benefits from the caste system. I didn't create this system, neither did Tyla, but she benefits from it. So I'm really confused, and this is what also gets me when folks who benefit also from desire want to tell me what is happening, as if I'm not the one reading and studying and understanding all these things while y'all sit up here like co-opting language that y'all have saw from somebody else on Twitter. Some of us who actually experience these things are actually taking the time to understand them better so they don't look like they're being gaslit, so they don't feel like they're being gaslit. Like, and to the nerve of some folks to come at me and tweet me and tell me that this is not a correlation or whatever. Like, girl, you benefit from it too. So I'm not really surprised that you agree. Yes, there's xenophobia going on with Tyla. Absolutely. Like, yes, there's folks saying stupid stuff about like Africans and all that stuff. Like, yes, a lot of that was happening. You know what? Since we're so concerned about xenophobia and things that where is this conversation coming when we're saying that we're not voting for said candidate because they're still fully supporting a ongoing genocide? since we now care, because we care, like that's what I'm hearing. So let's apply that. Again, we care about things when it matters to us. And to act as if desire does not play into the things that we care about and the things we want to protect, you're silly to think that. Y'all fully activated to protect Tyla from what? Like a tweet from Armon Wiggins, an unknown blogger that nobody really cares about that much. Like, like protect her from what? Tyla does not have to be online. She does not have to be on Twitter and Instagram. She has a whole team. She's up and coming. She is that girl. She doesn't have to see any of these things. She has whole security. I can't walk up to Tyla and touch her or interact with her without security stopping me. So who the hell are y'all protecting these folks from? What are y'all not protecting shit? You tweet, you think your damn tweet is protecting somebody? Girl, please go sit down. You're just having a conversation. But you feel entitled to do it because of the way Tyla looks. And you got to be honest with yourself. Because there's many times that Armon Wiggins has said some ignorant things about other black folks. Even me. Around this time, which is ironic, a year ago, I was getting harassed and called the HIV boogeyman for doing a video about the importance of doctors and nurses showing up for folks who are going to get tested and making people feel comfortable to go get tested. And had to fight for my life on Twitter from folks like calling me an HIV boogeyman, a dark-skinned fat person who is living with HIV. Y'all were eating me up. Folks were eating me up. And there were some folks who were defending me. And there's some folks who were silent. Like there were some folks who were silent. Like when y'all were eating no money up for years for not having an album, and then when the album came out and folks were eating her up and chewing her up and saying all these things, like y'all don't think that colorism plays in how you treat no money? Y'all don't think colorism plays in how we treat other dark-skinned female artists and rappers and stuff? There's a reason why all the pop black girls look a specific type of way. There's a reason why all the rap girls at the top look a certain type of way. Like y'all act like colorism doesn't exist, and then when we say something about it, we call haters. You don't know Tyla. I don't know Tyla. I don't know if she's a mean girl or she's a nice girl. I don't know. But what I know is that I'm not going to be fully activated trying to prove a point that I don't know. I'm not going to be saying, oh, she's not a mean girl. Like, why do you have to? Because you want to preserve innocence for her because of the way she looks. Like, I keep having to remind folks, like, how desire works, because it even works in the courtroom, which is why certain defendants who have been accused of things will cut their hair or change their appearance to make it seem as though they're innocent. Because if you come in there looking scraggly, which is oftentimes anti-black, you'll see black men who may not have even committed a crime, but have to cut their locks because that is associated with ugliness and blackness, because blackness is seen as ugliness. The further you are away from blackness, the more desirable you are seen. So we have to really try to understand colorism. Now let's get into the conversation about Tyla, because people wanted to argue that this situation just happened because of the award. Like, people just jumped on because of this one incident, and it's like, no, it actually wasn't one incident. So the Usher dance situation, because Joe Budden got activated and was talking bad about Tyla and was saying that she was entitled and da-da-da-da. Joe Budden, ignorant, stupid, who's been accused of several things, being anti-black, period, fatphobic, all the other stuff, a colorist too, and an abuser too. So he was talking bad about Tyla, and he was saying that the critiques are like genuine. Like, I mean, Joe Budden and Armon Wiggins are the same people, to be honest. Like, child, I'm not listening to Joe Budden when it comes to stuff like that. He don't understand women shit. Mel barely gets a word out. Sometimes they overtalk her all the time about issues that she has more connection to, with her being a black woman. Child, please. So yeah, you had conversations about Tyla dancing on Usher. And folks were saying, oh, she didn't want to dance on Usher. Da-da-da-da. It's like, looking at the video, Usher was telling her to go to the other side. She was interacting. It was fun. It was playful. Like, folks dissected that and did the most. People were doing the most behind that. Like, folks were doing the most behind, like, da-da-da-da. What's going on? So that wasn't enough evidence for me to be like, she's a mean girl. Like, I don't know. Like, Usher was telling her to move. She was dancing. She was having fun. Back to the situation with the award because she was walking up the stage and the assistant, and this is something Joe Budden was trying to say, is like she had shoot the assistant or whatever who was trying to help her. I saw that. I really didn't pay no attention. I was like, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you that the moment that I kind of had some questions, what was like a little flag for me, is when she was doing an interview with the Breakfast Club and she did not know that she wasn't supposed to talk about like, whether she was black or not, or, certain questions about her race were off limits. She did not know. She did not know. This is an artist who is coming on the Breakfast Club, one of the biggest black, like, radio stations in the country, clearly trying to appeal to black Americans in this market and stuff, and did not know that she wasn't supposed to be or shouldn't be talking about, race or whatever. Like, you are an artist, like, and you are not aware of things that you're not supposed to talk about. Media training. Like, why did you not know these things? Like, how do you not know you're not supposed, like, media training? Again, like, media training, and her team set her up to fail. Her team set her up to fail, like, to interrupt and say that she's not supposed to answer questions like that. Why you don't want to talk about it? And folks would say, oh, well, y'all Americans, y'all system and stuff is different, and y'all don't understand it. Because I saw that, like, girl, I was like, okay, sister, all right, like, y'all got it, y'all won. But the Tyla hate train is being fueled by the Diaspora Wars that's going on right now between Black Americans and South Africans. And I have seen some very disgusting things on both sides. Like, we're taking this one incident, this one situation, and like, we can't even have a conversation about the real things that are going on because folks are just like spewing ignorance. But I will say this, because I have seen enough folks who have looked like Tyla benefit from a system that they don't realize it, and they do move a specific type of way, and that cannot be removed. Like, I'm not going to say that Tyla is not a mean girl. I'm not going to say that she is a mean girl. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know that lady. And also, like, in my history, looking at the things and seeing things, like, it's no shade. Some of y'all do be, acting a specific type of way about things when y'all are used to receiving things. So I don't think it's necessarily like a South African thing. I think it's just a colorism thing. I think that's what's missing from the conversation. Like, it's not a South African thing. Like, her being from South Africa does not matter to me in the context of that. But it's just like, she needs media training, and I don't feel like that she needs better media training, and she needs to be more polished when she's doing these things. And like, the response and stuff is just like, I don't know, like, her response in the bio, like, up at it, I just don't know any of the other girls who respond like that. And I just don't see them doing it. I don't see them doing that. Like, there's a way, like, I don't know. Like, I think to call yourself that in the bio, it's kind of to me, maybe not helping with that. Like, girl, you could easily just ignore it. Like, who is Armon Wiggins compared to a Tyla? If we're talking about like popularity and celebrityism, like, I wouldn't have gave him nothing. I hate I'm giving him something right now. But it's like, girl, like, could have just ignored that. Like, there's no need to do that. But again, when you're used to receiving things and folks like worshiping you because of desire, because of the things the way you look, some stuff does ooze out. I haven't seen it. I haven't been around her, but I know from my experience that I'm not going to rule it out completely until proven, like, because I've seen it over and over and over again, how desire shapes how folks move and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not going to call her entitled African. I think that's the wrong words and stuff, but she is a light-skinned, thin, woman who benefits from like the caste system. And I think that's the conversation. But to talk about her in this, entitled African, like, what does that even mean? There's so much ignorance going on. I just hope things get better. I hope that we really start to like understand why these things are moving like the way they are. Because I think entitled African, like, it's just, what does that even mean? It's just so stupid. But that's all I got. Tell me your thoughts about it. Let me know in the comments. Eat me up alive all you want. Make sure to support me on patreon.com/KingOfReese if you want to. If you have the coin, I appreciate y'all. And until next time, talk y'all later. Bye.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.